activity this morning as we request Mr. Conrado Baton for the opening remarks.
Ay, sifat.
Mute
Okay,
lang
so
siguro ang uban. Pwede ra.
so hello everyone. Good morning again sa
Hi.
Teng and Rena.
Good morning.
Good morning sa mga naa sa Pilipinas. Good evening sa mga
Morning.
naa sa America and Canada. And to whoever here is from Europe, good luck ninyo diha kay alas 3 sa kadlawon karon diha. So please welcome to another episode. Kuya wag Netflix ba episode sa season 1 sa CIC batch 8387 Zoom Get Together. So this episode is about mental wellness, mental health, about stress management. So what brings us stress, or what makes us so stressed out? It's problems. So it may be health, marital problems, financial problems, etc. So usually people shut down if they have problems, especially dagko nga mga problema. We don't share to friends or even family members. People get depressed or have anxiety, di ba? Sometimes we would feel like we are in a dark place. Mura ta og naglakaw og ngit-ngit nga dalan or tunnel nga alimuot pa kaayo. O usahay angso pagyud murag pareha sa Fort San Pedro sa una. Di ba? So, but as the phrase goes, there is light at the end of the tunnel, meaning naay pag-asa ang tanan. So, og I hope nga igawas to sa end sa tunnel, kay kapoy man kaayo og gutom sigig lakaw, napud untay na maligyag barbecue og puso og bugnaw nga coke. Di ba? So, now, tonight we will start the event by praying the rosary. Then we will be listening to a webinar about stress management from tonight's speaker, Tina Cruz Espirito. And we will also hear from a few of our batchmates regarding their life experiences and how they were able to make it. I think if there's still time, we will be entertained by with songs by some of our batchmates. And again, welcome everyone, and I hope you will enjoy the evening and learn a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
For today's topic, ang atong speaker, ang atong pinalangga, and also made this possible. Thank you kayo ha with the mga teasers nimo para maka-invite us sa atong friends. The beautiful sad, oh, di ba? Letter B yun siya. Pero butangan sa nako siya, letter C. The charming Tina Espiritu. Pakpak mga friends.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Can I be heard?
Hello.
Madunggan ko?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, naniguro ko dan. Hi, Tonet. So, good morning. So, I'm happy na nahitabo na ni siya na event. I wanted this event for reasons of healing, no? Then, sorry ganina ni out lang ko sa rosary pero naraman ko. Kay nadyo ko'y purpose for this one pero dili lang gyud namo manako, no, ma-share. So, managi ni siya purpose, and hopefully the prayers all have it all at the same time. I'm not ready. So, para man yun akong talent good niya, nagtutulog na ako na asa kong dapita, masilid sa akong talent kay maura dyan niya akong talent ikaalagad. Wa man tako na student teacher pag elementary o high school, pero dire ko giputang ni Lord. So I'm going to share something that would probably, I'm sure how much it will help us. Depende kay some of you are in the medical profession, so I'm very sure na you are very familiar with the concept of wellness, mental health, and unsa pa may kuan na and all things like this. So kaning uban will just be a refresher, but as I said, I'm putting this a little bit on a higher level kay mura sa tag grade 1 kung magabaliktag what is depression, what is like that. Although we will try to go back to that orientation lang siya gamay. I'll be multi-dialecting. I always do that. Buhaton ginanak ko. Ganun po ginagawa ko to get attention of people, and because when you multi-dialect, the tendency is the person's brain becomes alert because there is a sudden shift of dialect or language, no, from Filipino to English or from Tagalog to Cebuano to Bisaya. So the brain actually works and wires in that way that the moment there's a change and you are bored or lulled, your brain automatically also becomes alerted on the change. So para lang mapukaw tang tanan. Okay, so Chad, pwede siguro ta mag-share screen sa PowerPoint. Okay. Good mo niya ni sila, niya mas sila. Okay. Okay, narabay mo share. And I'm very thankful sa mga nag-share. Kung share later. Thank you, Chad. So, usually I give this to workers, employees, kaning companies, corporates, NGOs, teachers, kung asa ko bitbiton sa Ginoo to ani siyang mga topics. So, yes. So, today we will be looking at stress management, okay. And then we'll just do a simple review of things, but I would like to highlight more on the last one, the letter B. Taas na siyang first, letter A, pero kuano na siya, highlight, kuano na siya, run through. So, understanding stress, balik sa tachad kadiyot. So, atong goal is number 1, to understand stress again. And then letter B would be stress management. So we'll define stress, types of stress, classifications of stress, sources, causes, and symptoms. Then the more important one would be the stress management. So ito po yung pinaka-core ng discussion ko for today. So mao ng letter B. Okay? So let's start with the slide, Chad. Thanks. Siya mo assist na ko ron. Okay. So understanding stress. So stress is a person's physical and emotional response to change. So any change, bisag unsa nga change, no? Magamay madako, mo create man gud siya og change. So ang mo create siya og change or response sa ato ang body, no? And the first one to respond would always be our physical aspect, and then mo follow ang emotional responses. So any change that could be having a new baby or getting a new job or someone getting sick, taking a test, passing an exam, having new friends pa niyo sila. Joke. So, mana, they are the ones who are, these are examples of changes that we normally go through in life. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So types of stress, okay, natay gitawag og general stress. Everyone goes through this. So everyone has this stress. Usually, ma-resolve siya in a day or two. And there's no need for intervention kay wala man kay siya effect sa imuhang mental, dili man siya, wala kay siya effect sa imong state, na sa imong physical or mental or emotional state. So examples anang mga general stress could be like traffic, di ba? Your boss, every day mo siya makita. Your children's assignments, modules, whatever they're going through right now, those can be your general stress at the moment. So these are just, everyday stress that everyone or most of the population experiences. So no need for any intervention. Then the second one would be your cumulative stress. So from the word cumulative, bahin pa sa math, bisag di ta maigmat, napundo ni siya. So cumulative means daghan siya or nagpatong-patong na siya, and it's a bit long term, no? So it builds up in your body. Okay? So for example, ang kung grabe jud ka stressor imong boss niya, every day mo magkita siya, cumulative na siya. Okay? One stress over the other. Then it becomes more difficult to alleviate your symptoms to alleviate your symptoms. So meaning, mag-need na taog intervention kung cumulative. And then it would lead, of course, to more serious psychological problems. Pwedeng di nakakatug, insomnia, di nakamukaon, mudako imong kaon. Wa ko giigo ng mga tao ha. And then kana, no? And lack of focus, no? So mas bugat ang effect because it's already add-on, murag cumulative siya, and it's prolonged, okay? Then you have acute traumatic stress. These are critical incident stress, meaning minsan lang siya nangyayari, pero pag nangyari siya, mabigat ang epekto niya sa katawan, pag-iisip ng tao. Okay, so critical incident. So it could be death of a loved one. It's not every day, although it's more common these days, but it's not an everyday thing, diba? For children, this could be the death of a pet, for example, diba? Or a loss of a friend, yun. You know, they fight. So these are parang it's a one-time, big-time type of stress. When you say acute traumatic stress, it produces very heavy psychological distress, and there are abnormal reactions to even normal situation. So unsa man ang abnormal reaction to normal situation? So kanang, for example, let's say unsa may mga normal situations like traffic, normal man siya, pero sa una mo smile ra na siya, mo ginhawa ra na siya, karon kay mamalikas na siya, masuko na siya, mag road rage na siya. Why? Because the person is probably going through an acute traumatic stress. Na siya one-time big stress karon nga even sa mga gagmay-gagmay nga butang, kuan siya, ang iyang reaction is that the normal reaction that we normally exhibit as a person. Kung naatani tanan, it would, when you have acute traumatic stress and it's not being given the proper intervention, or you have cumulative stress and it's not given the proper action, so this would result to post-traumatic stress or post-traumatic stress disorder. So these are severe stress. Severe stress produces severe psychological trauma. So meaning mo go through ng person of depression, major depressive disorders, pwede sa types of any anxiety disorder. Usually ang effect niya is lasting, no? Pwedeng ma-manage pero normally lasting na siya. Okay? So, next slide. Thank you, Chad. Uy, kung namoy pangutana, pwede ra jud mo mangutana later. Okay. So, that all stress are negative. So, na may stress nga positive, di ba? So, kung padung na ka mag-birthday and you're going to turn 50, inana. So, positive stress na siya unless kung wa na jud kay So, positive stress is important in our lives because that gives us energy. Mo na mo motivate nato para to keep going, no? It gives us excitement. It gives us a reason ba to get out from your bed and move out in the day. So it makes us mentally alert. Okay? So for example, sa school kita kag exam, so kibaw ka naka-exam, so that is a positive stress because ma-alert man ka og kalit, di ba? Matan-aw ka sa problem, makita ka solution, so it motivates you. Positive stress gives you motivation. So if it's not giving you motivation, it's a negative stress. And it allows you to have high efficiency in whatever it is you do. So mas better ang output, mas better ang result in whatever it is that you are doing. Unlike sa negative stress, ang negative stress man gyud whether acute or chronic, maka-create gyud siya og disturbance sa mental health, not just the physical but mental health of an individual. So it could go to the worst situation nga mag-experience na siya og mga post-traumatic mga stress disorders. Okay? So kana. Sorry, pas-pasta kay aron di mugot mon. Okay, next. So, unsa may sources of stress na sa environment? For example, ang ato economic uncertainty kay wa tay padulngan. For example, at this time, what if mawadan tag work and everything? The economy is going down. Country is going through recession. So, political uncertainty, hapit na among election diri. So gubot nagsugod. And then you have your technological change. To keep up with technology is very stressful. Mm, pareha nang dili mo tingog ang kang radibet ang kang radibet dako, that's a technological change. Pero ang technological change really means keeping up with the system, of communication and getting our things done. And then nasa the organizational factors, those stressors nga gikan sa trabaho or gikan sa atong role. So when you say task, it could be at home or it could be in your workplace. You say roles, that includes the community, that includes the roles that you do in work and the roles that you do at home. Actually, tungod sa last 3 days ago, 2 days ago, I might, since I am in Lapu-Lapu and the only one we know nga, kuan, I might already be a frontliner for Lapu-Lapu City Government already in the next few days. So pray kay magpa-vaccinate na daw ko. Ma-frontliner na ko sa mga mangambak. Taasad mi og seaside diri sa Lapu-Lapu for students, high school and college. So medyo need na gyud na naay mo kuan, naay mo help. But I will be working side by side with my team sa Philippine Mental Health, which is mga psychiatrists kay there are many things that cannot be done by counseling alone. Kinahanglan jud check medication, no? So kana. So kana, no? So naman tay mga negative stress. So ligo. Next slide. Thank you, Chad. Yuhu, Chad. Hindi naman siguro ako po. Okay, so wait, Chad, ha? Forward, Chad. Yeah, forward pa. There. Okay. Ay, backward ka, Chad. Sige, forward lang. Just forward. Tingalig na. Something wrong with this slide. Forward. Yes, personal factors. There. So, balik ta personal factors. Okay. Balik pa. There. I don't know what's wrong with this slide. Okay, there. So personal factors. So environmental, then you have organizational, then you have personal factors. So personal factors, problems ninyo sa balay, problems sa relationships, those fall into personal factors. Economic problems that you may have, especially when it comes to loss of job, demotion, retrenchment, possible, okay? Then personality, unsa man ang personality, ang namang ko yung mga personalities. So it challenging. I'll put it that way. There are our personalities. Ilabot na lang ako akong kaugalingon, are sometimes challenging. Nagi mga tao nga palaaway, or nagi mga tao nga digid malipay, or nagi mga tao nga reklamador, nagi na ilang personality ba sukad sa una hangtod karon tingali. So when you're dealing with either your own personality or personality factors coming from those around you, that is also a source of stress. So kapoy kaayo, di ba, na mabuhi kag usa ka tawo nga iyang ginahuna iyang kaugalingon, di ba? Na personality nga inana, or usa ka tawo nga pirmi lang aggressive, pirmi lang manghasi, mangulata, ngitag away, di makumpleto ilang adlaw. So when you have to personality factors and your personality factors, they are the ones also most difficult to manage, and then most challenging to manage kung ikaw ang tigdawat sa iyahang mga behaviors. Okay, so next slide. Yes, specific stressor. So divorce or separation, ari kung dapita diri unya ha. Then death of a loved one, nasa imo share ani unya, birth of a child, major financial setback, daghan kayong inani, employment changes, yes. Becoming the victim of a crime or natural disaster. So, traffic congestions, working overtime, 64 hours a week ko. Personal conflicts that you may have, those can be your stressors, job stress, physical injury, health and safety, they are stressors. And then even lack of sleep is a stressor. Next one. Yeah, symptoms of stress. Unsa man nato pagkaibaw nga stress na ta. Okay. So, dili siya kinahanglan na magbitbit mo og blood pressure monitor all the time. So, some of you are very aware of what's happening to your body, pero naadyo'y daghang tao, even maybe some of you, nga wala na aware nga mao din ni ang imong symptoms every time mo go through naka og stress. Okay? So, some could have become very vulnerable to colds and flu, asthma, heart disease, no? Mo develop na siya in later time. The more stress you experience, the earlier you experience mga heavy stress, the more likely ka nga mo develop of serious physical disorders later on. So like kanang mga heart disease, stomach ulcers, unsa pa, skin disorders, then worse kaning mga PTSD and kaning depression, and kani ang pinaka-common sad cancer. So kita man good nagunahon na ta pirmi labi na nagbata pa ta, nga kaya nato pirmi, kaya tanan, but manay giingon nato na maningil ang lawas, maningil yun na siya. Maningil yun na siya later on. So mo na nga whatever diseases you may be experiencing now, ang gravity ana may be a result of many years, decades of stress na wala siguro nato na consider before, kay nga naman sa una wala man gud di siyang stress gi-highlight. Walay mental health, dili pareho ra sa giingon ni Paeng ganina, di ba? Paeng said that Paeng ba to niingon ganina nga wala may bully gud sa una. Ang term nga bullying wala na sa una, pero actually na bully na ta or nang bully na sad ta sa una. Okay. So wala nang mga terms nga inana. Pero nipadayon ta. This is a generation that we learned nga we just obey, we do hard work, we just follow, buutan ta nga klase nga empleyado. Mo ang mga empleyado nako karon ng mga batanon kay inig makasab-an lang gamay sagwa pagay ka mga saba, nag-IR pa gani ka, mo resign naman. Mo resign na, IR pa gani, incident report pa gani, resign dayon. So yeah.
Ni raise og hands si Antoinette, basig na siya kumanta.
Sorry ha, kay dili man gud nako makita ang full screen. Yeah, Antoinette, thank you. Sama Antoinette.
Wala. Natuslukan ra, natuslukan.
Okay. Okay na.
Thank you, Paeng.
Mo keep mo sa inyong questions later. So, kadaghanan, mo experience na siya o bisag unsaon nimo pag-take care sa imong body, kung ang stressors di nimo ma-manage, in the long run, it will always ask for payback. Diba? It will always ask for payback. Okay? So, payback time. So, money siya. Na? So, some of us are already experiencing some of this. Nana mo'y maintenance. Nana tayo maintenance, appeal na ko diha kay pre-diab man ko. And then asthma. And yes, I also have ulcer. So, nani ni siya. Saan ni sa kong mga maestra sa una? No? Okay. Mao ni siya. Sige tagtuon ba, si tag sunod-sunod, na di kita ma-zero dapat, ingon akong ginikanan. So, mao na ni epekto ron, ulcer, asthma, kuan, taas atong blood sugar, kay ngano man. Okay. Para magtuon, mukaon, yun ta. So, but, yeah, the body will always ask for payback. So, mao ni atong bantayan. Okay, next slide. Yeah. So aside from physical symptoms, you can also notice from yourself or from other people around you that there could be behavioral changes. So example, um, in terms of productivity, sa una, ganahan ka na siya manglaba, karon di na, ana ba? Or ganahan siya musud, karon di na, di ba? Ganahan ta mahuman din ng trabaho, pero karon late mo, ingon na, like, moingon na ta nga, ugma na lang na siya, uy. So, ganahan ta magluto, di na. So, when your productivity starts to change, it might be an indicator that something is stressing you out and you need to check on that. Absenteeism, okay? Kung work na siya, okay? Kung sa balay, di na sad ka mouli. Di na mouli, ato nas gawas, okay? And then, turnover, no? If people change jobs, move from one job to another in a short period of time, for no significant reason, it might mean that the person is stressed. Namang uban na kung ma-stress mo hawa dayon ana ba hawa dayon kung ma-stress sad hawa na sad dayon. So when they do that, when they move from one job to another without any acceptable reason, it could really indicate that the person is stressing over something, but it's not, he or she is not attending to it correctly. Then physiological symptoms, as I said, a simple headache, mga heart diseases, taas ang BP, di nalata ato na lang nadawaton nga inana na siguro. So these are indicators nga na stress ka. So kung mo start kag palpitate ug kalit, you know, or you cannot sleep, or you have difficulty sleeping already and you have frequent headaches. So these are indicators really that you are going through stress, or it might even be an indicator that you are already going through anxiety or depression. Okay, next. Next chat. Man ako siya makontrol chat. Ikaw man akong ipa-control. Thanks. Psychological symptoms, this is the one that's most difficult to manage. No? So when people experience through anxiety, in layman's term, or in ordinary, as an ordinary kanang definition or understanding of anxiety, it is usually defined in psychology as the fear of the unknown. So wa pa gani, dili siya overthinking, wa pa gani, nagpalpitate na ka, nag-sweating na ka, di ba? You start to feel nervous for no reason at all. That is what you mean by anxiety. No, you have panic attacks. That's a type of anxiety, or you could have general panic disorder. Pwede sad nga, anything, anywhere, mukalit lang yung kag nervyos. Or you could have phobia. Okay. So daghan kayong klase-klase nga anxiety disorders. Mabita na as much as possible. Ayaw sad mo overthink. Marasag og tarong da. Pero I won't overthink, because sometimes overthinking can already lead to, it's already an indicator that you know, you are anxious. Okay. Then depression, daghan kayong klase sa depression, ay major, ay minor, but this is a very good, this is a clinical criteria. If your depression, if you are already having symptoms of depression for 2 weeks straight, to indicate that you are already suffering from major depressive disorder. So careful tana, okay? And then decrease in job satisfaction or decrease in relationship satisfaction, that is also an example of mga psychological symptoms. So di na kaganang pakita siyang now, or di na kaganahan mo sud sa trabaho, di ba? These are the you know, when you're no longer satisfied with a lot of things that you normally feel satisfied about, there's something wrong, you know, and you just check. It's important to check on yourself once in a while. Okay, next. Yeah, okay, so for a while, kanang naay mga tanad diri bahin depression, kay ako i-entertain sa ang depression, anxiety, or do you want me to go through what depression is? Kay I can run through it if there is a need. Pero kung walang need, then pwede na tamo diretso sa stress management. Pero bang ko nga ang uban ingon na discuss sa guys sa depression, kaysa ka-depressed daw na sila kay ba unsa na siya. So let me see kinsa may ganahan na mo kuan lang ko would share ko depression items if kung wala pwede ra ko mo proceed Or later on, makasabot sa mga depression sa inig-share na mo later. Inig-share na mo later, apil ko. Okay. So, gibilin dyan ako for the last ang mga winning moments. Sige, so wala may ni
Wala man
message.
siguro, we can proceed
Okay.
lang.
Sige,
Alright.
salita sa stress management. So may stress management. Daghan kitang paagi ana. I'm sure for those who are working, familiar na sa inyo ha ang what stress management is how stress management is supposed to be done. So normally they would tell you exercise, eat healthy food, 'di ba? Get good sleep, talk to someone, unsa pa man ang ubang gipanghatag namo as basic basic nga mga get your exercise ng mga inana bitaw. We always, and that is very true. Dili na siya something that we can just it's not something that you can just push away and say I can manage, because that's very basic. To manage your stress and get through the stress that you are going through, you need to eat well, you need to sleep well, you need to talk to someone you trust, or someone that you feel comfortable in telling your difficulties or your challenges or whatever it is that you're going through. Even your anger, you have a partner to whom you can who is willing to take on your angry moments, just to relieve you of that. Those are really very basic. Kaon, tulog, inom og healthy foods, avoid smoking, avoid drinking, have me time. That's very basic. Okay, but I'd like to move a little bit higher. Kay kana sayon ra jud kay na siya buhaton, pero ang pangutana, nganong di man jud na namo mabuhat? Nganong di man mi makakaon og tarong? Nganong di man ko katulog og tarong nga giingnan man ko nga matugog tarong pero di ko katulog. What is it that I'm not managing? Why am I still going through stress when I'm trying to eat, I'm trying to get some sleep, but I can't. I'm trying to get exercise. Personally nako, I'm trying to get exercise, but I can't. No, so what's stopping me? Where's the core problem? Where's the issue? Gisultian naman balik, diba? This is what we're supposed to do. But why is it that we are not able to do it? So I'd like to move a little bit higher and look at stress management from the context of honoring your needs. Kay kanigid siya ang pinaka-na-miss tanan. So what does it mean when we say honor your needs? Unsa man ni siya? Okay, so this is the concept of stress management that I'd like to discuss. Next slide. Okay, so first, may ganitag honor your needs. It means you respect your mind and your body, di ba? So kung magpagutom mo para lang makakaon ang imong igsuon, ang uban, ang pamilya, over your need to eat, then you're not respecting yourself. You're not respecting your body. Okay? When you're pushing yourself to solve everyone's problem, instead of allowing them to solve their problems, and you try to solve everyone's problem as fast and as best as you can, that is not respecting your mind. And that is not respecting your body. Mao magud ni ato agud bisag kani mga lolo ug lola na karon. Problema gali sa uban kitay musaw, di ba? Kamoy musaw no. So unday na to. Sige ako na lang na. Sige ako na lang. I'll do that. Okay. Very kind, very good of us. But you see, in the end, it is our body that's affected. It is our mind that's affected. Ikaw ang hindi nakakatulog, di ba? Because you have to finish someone else's problem, your child's problem, your daughter's problem, your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your office mate's problem, your neighbor's problem. So when you take on those things, and yes, thank you for being kind, but you have to be kind to yourself before you are kind to everyone else. So when we say honor your needs, the very, very basic principle of honoring your need is please respect your mind, respect your body. Pag sinabi ng katawan mo na masakit ang ulo mo, tanta siya. Please rest. Stop and rest. Diba? Stop and rest. Get a nap, get a power nap, get the right sleep. Okay, that's what you need. When your body says there's a specific part of your body that's aching, do not say nga, I will not go to the doctor. This is just normal. This will just get by. No, attend to your body. Respect your body's needs. That's why it's sending you signals. Diba? So that's what we mean by that. The very basic principle of honoring your needs is really to respect your mind and your body. You get lost of honoring your needs when you don't remember that very first principle of honoring your needs, which is respect your mind. Let your mind stop. Let your mind rest. Let your body rest if that's what they want to. Diba? If that's what it needs at that time. Second, yes, Chadix. Yes, number 2. Okay, so before we go to number 2, so tanawa na siya. Understanding and respecting your limits. But ipasabot. Now, that's what it means when you say respect your mind and body. Your body has limits. Your mind has a limit. You have to understand that it does not have superpowers. You're not a long-lasting battery every ready. Okay, di ka energizer. Understand and respect your limits. Those have to be both. You have to understand that your body and mind has limits, and you have to respect what you understand. And then number 2, creating healthy boundaries to protect your time and energy. Diba? Butang kag wall, not a wall nga, di na lang ka mag-istorya unless that's what you need, but create the boundary that you need. We'll go through that later and you'll see what I mean when you say create the boundary. It's okay to say no to everyone else. Even if it's your boss, even if there's something that you really need to do. Okay? Distinguishing your needs from the needs of others. Kaya hindi mo nare-respeto yung sarili mong pangangailangan is because you are actually taking on everybody's needs which are not even your problems. Bubuo na di mo siya problema. Let them solve their problems. Hayhaya nila. Smo na sila, dugay na sila mamatay. Wa mo kabantay, anak. Ang matay, katog yung gikuha niya tanan ba, ang problems. Okay? Then, grounding yourself in your values and priorities. What are really your values? What really are your priorities? And then, the last one is learning to manage your time. So you create enough space for self-care. Self-care. Actually, nakatun ko aning word nga self-care for the first time in history kanang tao nga napugos gina siya ari diri. Si Ramon. I think that's the first time I heard from him when he said self-care. It stepped into my mind and I will never forget that self-care word. Okay, self-care man na siya. Okay, master na siya self-care. Okay, so what is the second principle of honoring your needs? Prioritize your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Gilaliman mo, ana. Okay. So it's very important that you prioritize those aspects. Collectively, we call them well-being. No? So kung mag-check ka sa imong self, don't just check on the physical aspect. Check on your emotions, check on your spiritual aspect of yourself. Mo na well-being. Kaya kung ang usa guba, mo-affect man siya tanan. Diba? If the physical aspect is not being checked, it destroys a lot of other things. If the spiritual aspect is not being checked, it destroys the other aspects of well-being. If your mind is not in the correct state at the moment, it destroys a lot of aspects of your well-being. So you have to check all of them once in a while, or as much as you can, as regularly as you can, for you to be able to create a very healthy, not necessarily perfect, but a very healthy well-being. Okay. Yes, Chad, let's go to the next slide. Salamat. Okay, so first question is, what stops you from honoring your needs? Diba? Kibaw naman data nga, matugtag sa iyo, say no ta, i-honor na to atong mga needs sa body, mukaunta, di ba? Ang dakong pangutan naman good is, what stops you? What stops us from from doing all of those things, which may ta simple rana, moram din na buhaton, moram din na honor your needs. But look at you. What stops you from honoring your needs? So, the first reason nga nung mo stop pag-honor sa atong needs is because you make self-care negotiable. I'll give you my very own example. My work, even before, even as a teacher, ambot lang kung pareho ba sa una, no, ay, lahi magod elementary o high school, kay sa college, kuan manggod siya, tanang oras, gikan sa gabi, hantod, buntag, hantod gabi. Ako manggod ang teacher nga sayo mo abot, o willing mo take on sa mga lunch nga hours. So, and then willing pagid mo take on mga late nights kay ang uban kanang last classes kay ang uban man good manguli na kay mga agpa, di ba? Napay master classes. So, I'm the one who holds like that. So ang tendency is mukaon ra ko kung kanus kung nakoy maagian or makaagi kong pagkaon in ana akong life before, no? So I have to run from there were semesters where I have to run from 3 buildings. San Carlos Main, mudagan og Talamban, from Talamban moadto ko og girls high kina dito ang education ug nursing sa una, and then balik pag ko main. So in ana akong life sa una. So what did I do? I made self-care negotiable. Di ba? Makainom lang kog kaon kung kana na nakoy magian or grabe na akong kagutom. It's not supposed to be negotiable, di ba? When you say ako nahimo sa imong module anak, ako na litubag anak. Nya kinahanglan na ka mo sleep, sige lang. Okay la ako re-answer. You're making your self-care negotiable, di ba? The self-care is not negotiable. So that's why you are not honoring your needs. Even if those things that I mentioned a while ago are very simple to do, it's because you believe that your needs are negotiable. Your body is negotiable. Your mind is negotiable. Diba? Dili man na negotiable ang kagutom, ang kuwang o panginahanglan sa katulog, to get exercise, to have me time is not negotiable. You need them. We need them. So, kana ang usa ka bugat na reason nganong we can't do the simple things like mag-exercise. Wa na koy time mag-exercise. Ngano wa man kay time? Kada ko anang 24 hours ngano wa man koy time mag-exercise. O bitaw sa na nako. Pero actually mao sa nakong problem. So I'm making it negotiable, 'di ba? May kag okay ra basta makatulog lang kog 3 hours, okay na ko ana. No. You need 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Why are you making it 3 hours? Diba? Kay mo answer ka sa kuan, mo answer ka si mong anak, o di ba nagtanaw kag Korean novela, di na nimo mabuhian. So these are, you're watching Netflix and you don't want to stop, diba? You're making self-care negotiable, which means your body, your needs pwede ra di na natong pasagdan. Mao na atong buti pasabutan. Okay? Second reason. Let's go, Chad. Okay. Moingon na ni sila nga, ma'am, ang among kagutom kay self-care sad siya. So, okay, number 2, you think you have superpowers that you can just push through self-exhaustion. Diba? Nga, moing kag, kapoy ra ni, okay ra ni dong, okay ra ni na, diba? Kuhiton ka simbahan niya, moingon na lang ka, diba? Bisag kapoy na ka. So, mo na siya may example na nga, you think you have superpowers, and okay ra na if you do it once in a while, that's good. But when you don't notice that it has become a habit. Nahimo na siyang habit na you just think na if you're tired today, you can still do extra miles of work, you can still do extra mile of tasks, you can do extra miles of tasks. So that's it. That's the second thing. Don't believe that you can just go beyond the wall of exhaustion. Okay, next. Go chat. Chad. Hala, uli na si Chad. Okay. You believe you can power beyond your limits indefinitely. Now, remember what we said in the first principle, respect your mind and body, and it says, understand that you have limits. So, don't, at the back of your head, you because you probably have proven it a lot of times na you can still go for more, you can still go for more. But if you do that regularly and it has become a habit, it's no longer good. So bakita mo di ba? Ikaw na lang ang bumbilya nga nagmata while everyone else has already slept, di ba? So stop that concept na you can power beyond what your body tells you or what your mind tells you. Number 4, namin siya number 4, Chad. Okay. You overwork yourself because you believe the end justify the means. Sorry kung na yung mga maigoan niya. So, why are you working? Para kanino ka gumigising? Diba? This is always the question that we ask. And you always go beyond work hours. You leave your country to work for long hours in other countries. You sacrifice a lot of relationships by going away, and then in that going away you overwork to provide for the people you love, and that's good, because you think that it justifies. Sa may buta ko ipasabutan na basta kayo makahuman na siya eskwela, basta matagaan ako siya sa mga toys, for example, or mapaskwilan ako siya sa maayong nga school, di ba? You always think that when you overwork, it justifies it justifies everything. So mo kag okay ra nak nga magtrabaho kog double job diri, or kay basta para imo lang, di ba? Overworking should not justify that, the needs of others. Although kasabot ko na inana gyud na siya, kay inana man sad akong life, especially when my father was still alive and he was sick, diba? So I overworked so that I could help, could provide all the medications that he needed, but it still does not justify pushing yourself beyond what your body and what your mind can really just accommodate. Kasabot gid ko nang may kag overwork para mahatag tanan, okay? Kasabot ko ana, but it is not healthy, it is not good. At the end of it, the results may be more disastrous than what you are providing for those people that you love. Okay, so there. Mo na lisod ka mo, mingon mo nga di ko ka exercise man, napakutrabaho, nag-extra job pa ko, nag-online business pa ko, di ba? So mo na problema, di ba? So overwork doesn't really justify. So what happens when you achieve your goals, di ba? Nahatag nimo ilang mga toys, ilang mga technology needs, okay? But you fail to honor your needs. Unsa may tabo, sa ato lang yun ang kunon nga, the more ka mag-provide, the more ka nga ma-pressure to provide. Kay imo man gisat ang standard nga makahatag ka ana. So what is going to happen? You overwork, you lose track of how your body is doing, you lose track of how your body is reacting to the way you're managing your work and your life. And what happens? You become anxious man gud. Hala, birthday na sad siya. Kuan ra ba tayo hindi pangayo, o di ba? The anxiety will really crack your mind. It will hurt you, di ba? You achieve your goals, yes, you provided everything, but what happens to you in that course of those things? Manggug ka to people you love, di ba? And the more ka mo overwork, okay? Second, you feel uncomfortable in your skin. You don't like your body anymore. When you overwork, iniktan-aw nimo sa samin, di nakaganahan magbutang og samin. Walay samin sa ako ang unit. Wa jud ko samin sa among balay. Ever since. Okay. You feel very uncomfortable of your skin. You don't, why? That means you start not liking your body. You start not liking your eyes, your skin, your weight, probably, diba? You're either too thin or you're too fat or whatever it is that however it is that you look at yourself, you feel so uncomfortable about yourself. Ma-conscious ka ba nga, or ma-paranoid ka, no, nga di ko ganahan tanaw kay nana. So that's the effect. You keep providing for others, but you don't like what's what's happening to you. So that's why you don't, you don't like yourself. You're too fat, you're too thin, you're too whatever it is that you have. You have eye bags, you have everything. You don't like yourself in the end. Okay. Next, you suffer from exhaustion and tension naturally because you keep providing, you overwork, you keep providing, you overwork, you make people feel satisfied because probably it's that satisfaction that you see is also feeding you, 'di ba? Malipay na manggug ka nga malipay sila. Inana siya nga kuan ba cycle ba. No? So when you have that cycle, so malipay ka nga nalipay sila. So you keep working hard or you keep providing and you miss out sleeps, you miss out eating well. Usay mo eat lagi ka pero pinaspasay sad kanang 1 hour lunch break gimo nimo 15 minutes. Diba? So at the end of it all, you start to suffer from exhaustion and tension. Okay, next. Shadix. Yes, you are unable to recognize your self-worth. You know what? I'm sure some of you may not be able to accept it. Pero kana bitang imo lang inanin na lang sa kalibutan, provide, tighatag, tig satisfy, tig para hatag lang kalipay sa ubang tao. Your worth starts to become small. You don't anymore know unsa pa may kaya nako. Asa pa man ko mas maayo, 'di ba? Where am I good at? Because you have been placed in a what do you do? In a capsule that only allows you to provide for people. So you start to realize, is this the only thing I can do? Is this what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life? Just make people happy, just solve people's problems, or just provide food on the table, make sure everyone is not suffering. It's okay if I'm suffering. You don't know anymore how good you are or what skills you are good at. Okay, because you stopped them already. You lost track of your other things that make you a worthy person because you have been put in a role that you started for yourself. So you no longer know. You provide everyone, yes, but you lose your self-worth in the end. Okay. Next. Okay, so how to honor your needs? Number one, we have to be brutally honest with ourselves. Lagi tayo limit. We have to set that limit. We have to understand our mind has limits, our body has limits. You have to accept that. Therefore, you dedicate time to care for and love yourself. Remember that time is also finite. 24 hours ra gyud na. Di na nimo pwede mahimong 24 hours and 10 minutes. Di na nimo siya mahimong 25 and 7. You only have 24 hours. You only have 7 days. Okay? You only have a month. There is always a limit. Okay? Second, say no to others and say yes to yourself. Kani, sa gini nato daghan kayo ang puno na lang gina nato nga dali kay ta moingon og yes to others but no to ourselves. So kanang sige kani akong kwarta ipalit na lang ni nako nimo something pero ikaw ang naay need to eat something but you gave it to someone else. Okay? So saying no is a gift to preserving your well-being. Okay? While saying yes is a disrespect to your well-being. Okay? So make self-care, number 3, make self-care intentional, not accidental, not negotiable. Make it intentional. Say, for example, Sunday, kuan ko ha, dili ko pahilabot. Okay? Or my Saturday or my 10 p.m. is reserved for this, make self-care intentional. Schedule your barber, schedule your foot spa, whatever it is that you really want, you really need to do. Okay? So spend it mindfully, consciously. Then what else? Go, chat. So what are we supposed to do? Dissolve your limiting beliefs. Unsa man tong limiting beliefs katong nagtuota nga atong lawas perfect ra na, kaya ra na, dili ta mo agig kapoy, kung kapuyon ta pwede ra tang mupadayon. That our body has needs, that we have to destroy and dissolve those limiting beliefs that tell us that our needs do not deserve respect. Let other people know that we have needs. Let other people know that they are not the only ones who has needs. They're not the only ones who need sleep, eating well, they're not the only ones who have problems to solve. So why not? You have to start, dissolving those limiting beliefs. Yes, Chad. Yeah. So when you do not honor your needs, you diminish your potential self-growth. Okay, di pa man late, kaya pa. Okay, for those who are experiencing this, because when I posted those things on the page, daghan naman yung message good nga, bitawtin. Bitawtin no, ako gikapo niya, sila di lang gani mangumustag, okay pa ba? So, sige lang ko tabang, then nobody's even asking how I'm doing, di ba? Yeah, daghan ni message na ko adtoin ko, yeah, that's correct. So, when you do not honor your needs, you diminish your potential for self-growth. You stagnate, you stop there, wala na, diha na lang kakutob, mao na lang yun na imong worth. Okay, and what else? You restrict yourself to the lifestyle that you deserve. What do you mean by lifestyle you deserve? The lifestyle that you deserve, that you need to get enough sleep, good food, you need to be free from problems, you need to be able to solve your problems first before you start solving other problems unless they are urgent. You need to let other people know that they are adults enough to solve problems. So, ano siya? Una ang pag-honor sa needs. So, sayon ra siya hunahunahon pero lisod siya buhaton. It's a challenge to everyone because even saying no to others makes you feel guilty. So, maka-guilty, okay. Maka-guilty man gud na may kanang no nya. Sa una anad na kay sila na mag-say og yes ka, nya munaw ka ikaw man una maapektuhan, but you get through practice and you start to feel good about yourself. Promise good, you start to feel good about yourself. So, mo na siya. Then, okay, mo na siya. Okay, so if you have questions, you can ask. Sorry, I have to move fast. Kaya na mo needs. Na mo needs sa kaun. Okay, na para ba mo share later on. So, mo share sa Migamay. Okay. Yes. Anyone who has questions?
Thank you, Tin. So, nice kay to honor ta sa itong mga needs. So, arita sa question and answer portion.
Pwede ra sa din
Ano ba?
Paing, nakay-question paing?
No. Honor kita sa atong needs. So, mga on yun tani, guys. Sige, anyone? Go ahead.
Kaya para makashare ang patong winning moment sa depression, sa kuan.
Number, and then nakapait pa yun kaya after 2 weeks ako na siyang husband, so nagsunod yun ba murag wala pa ka kanang bitang ka recover kanya here comes another one. So that was 2008, and then so wala, no choice but I have to kuan good to carry all the challenges. But so praise God, naka-survive man. So survivor from those katong 2008 nga nahitabo. Then I have three children. So I have to ako nakakunting og madunggan ko. So anyway, maklaro ra ko.
Yes, klaro.
Then dili na ko i-on akong phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had 11, 7, and 1-year-old to to handle. So mo to siya, those were the days, and then here comes mga 2011, so another stressor, job stress. So there were a lot of changes in the office. So there were changes on the reporting directly sa gawas, and then if there are changes, there are mga stresses, no? Okay, you have to plus na pa mga politics nga ginagmay sa offices, so you really have to handle those. And then good to note na I survived working in a semiconductor for 25 years. So that was enough na good to nga experience. So kato siya, and then so here comes, so that was 2011. So akong yung nakuan ang sharing ni Tina na na-cumulative ba ang stresses. So here
True.
comes 2013. So that was the big C that that I got. So well, at first no, at first kanang kuan jud kanang I first questioned good why, but then I have no choice again. So, but then still God is good because being with Big C. So, by the way, for those na not familiar, no, I was diagnosed with breast cancer last 2013 of May. And yeah, that was 2013, and it's just na kanang I was single parent na, so I really don't have somebody to share with. So anyway, all those were the days. So na-cumulative na siya, so cancer. And then ang ako lang kay it's good nga timing to siya. That was the year 2013 na I joined Handmaids of the Lord. And then kwento siya, at least na ako'y community sisters or prayer warriors good na ni kuan gid na ko ba ni guide. So those were helpful good, and then that made me strong ba to move on with that challenge. So mana to no 2013. So 2017 kuan lang kanang sort of kanang ang company na mo na kuan siya kanang bought ba by another company. So it's sa ako kay I'm 25. I was serving na 25 years. So ang ako is kung if ever na lang mga kanang mga offers, so para at least kanang kuan na sad ako ang life ba kanang sa tawag
Relax
di na mas
life.
stress gani. Oo, kanang melo na lang ba at least, plus atong age pa, plus when I was 40 na sad nang gawas na sad tong mga kanang hypertensions, may na ba. So anyway, plus work at day, study at night.
Yeah.
So for 3 years ato siya because for me that's a fallback ba. That's a fallback plan in case nga, because in a semiconductor it's cyclical. So it's a fallback plan in which I did not regret. It's because ako siya nagamit karon during pandemic. That's why I'm here. I'm here in New York,
Wow.
taking care of a baby of a family friend. So for me, God is good lang gihapon nga maski nag-pandemic, He gave me a chance na makasuroy. No, this is my second trip to US. So whatever problems that we have, and then think positive, and then always good talk to God. Si God na gud
Amen.
ako tanan doon.
Amen.
Oh, amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Che. Virtual hug for Cheryl, everyone. Oh, virtual hug sa
Idol na,
guys. Virtual
idol na
hug.
survivor.
Che,
Okay.
how long is your project diya sa New York?
Kuan siya, kuan man gud akong friend nga who's like my sister na pud ba is kanang nag-nursing sad siya. So kuan kanang summer, muuli sa ako summer break man siya. So muuli sa ako summer. So 3 months lang ko here nga. Muli ko summer, and then balik lang ko inig klase na pud balik niya. So, another
Vaccinated
3.
na. Okay. Vaccinated
Ah,
naka-check?
schedule pa. Schedule.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Schedule pa.
I'm praying for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you kay Che. So,
Yeah.
heavy kay ang sharing, no? So, ato sa ni
Ako, ang akong story kay kuan man ko kanang single mother no, tapos kanang ang akong life nagtuyok ng jud bitaw sa murag work, balay, kanang responsibilities until katong pagka 2018 na diagnose ko og breast cancer. Actually kuan gay to siya kay shortcut bitaw akong kanang usingan ani kanang surgeon. Ganahan siya nga kanang i-biopsy ko tapos diretso gani kung unsa kanang kuandain ko operahan akan ng tangtangon ba mastectomy if in case. So muto pagka August 2018 nanak ko sa kanang operating room unya kuan ako kanang gi-biopsy nya pagka murag a few pila to ka minutes after gina na nga unsa to murag cancer murag ing ana ba. So muto na nakatulog na ko pag mata na ko gitangtang na ang akong left breast nya muto na diagnose siya katong before siya operahan kanang immediately ba nga biopsy diretso gay kanang kuan opera kanang murag wa ko'y time gani nga murag uy ay sa murag diretso ba. So kato siya tanan murag blur ba kanang na diretso gani pero before jud ko ato ang akong gi-ready kay kuan katong kabaw ko nga kanang ana ba operahan ko unya wa pagay ko kabaw adto unsa nga stage ni adto jud ko nag kanang Santo Rosario kana bitaw unsa na kanang Blessed Sacrament.
Yeah.
Gi one time nako ditog hilak jud tanan as in gihilak jud nako tanan nya pag after adto mura kog nahuwasan gani unya gikuanan man ko sa akong sister nga sige after ana kanang pag confession na nya murag naaman mi adto sa murag kanang chapel sa Chongwa gani main kay murag sige man ko atog kanang mga test ana lab test ana nya dito ko nagkuan as in face to face murag naay mass then naghangyo mi sa priest nga mag-confession ko ba nya nisugot man siya. So moto after adto murag wala na murag gi-lift up lang gay nako tanan kay nay unsay nga maguol ko pero nagkuan ko nga usa pa akong mahimo nga na naman jud ni murag i-offer na lang jud niya tanan. So ganahan nga papriya gani sa uban nga kanang patients nga magsirag hilak magsikaguol mura kay gi-set mura bag mind over matter gani ko nga dapat strong ko ana kanang dapat mas strong gani ko kay kung magluya-luya gani ko murag asa pa ko wa na gud ko'y parents kay namatay naman sila unya akong duha ka sisters kay ang usa na nasa US na usa sa Canada ang nabilin jud diri akong isa ka sister although thankful kay ko kay murag kanang siya joy murag ni alalay gay nako kadtong time nga week ko ana murag ayaw sige work ana kay ang work eventually kanang murag mabulihan naman niya ka di ba ana pero kanang moments nimo nga gi-spend sa imong loved ones kanang sa imong time nga nag-create gay kag memories nga kanang mahinumduman niya ka nga happy mo ana bitaw mo oy murag mas important na nako karon. So
I've been inviting for 3 years na kanang nangaluya lang ni ron kay 2020 wala na may trainings. So mo na nga wala na yung mga physical kuan ba activities. So actually it really helps a lot no kanang mga na physical kana activities. So that's why I've been inviting Gigi unta para kuan sad ba ma-experience niya ang nice kuan dragon boating. Mara to.
Hi, Sugar. Oh, kani stress kani siya kani si Sugar. Ako sa siyang i-introduce. Ang iyang stress, guys, personality factor. Gusto mo na siya dapita sa topic ni Tina. Ano, guwapa man yung kay ni siya. Uy, ano, forever magini ang timeless beauty. Go, Sugar. I miss you.
I miss you. I admire you guys. I mean, I was diagnosed clinically depressed, and it might be a shock to everybody, but sakto si Tina, the only thing that I went to counseling, And the only thing I admire is my work. I didn't even know I had a problem. Kanatin. I didn't even know until a boss of mine murag na ni sumbong ba nga, what's wrong with Fritzy? She's very articulate kay kuan man ko may pagka OCD man ko gamay on a certain job, and for some reason nagwonders la why I allowed that project to go through. So gitawag ko nga. Then she asked me question nga, how come nimo ning gibuhat? So long story is I catered to somebody that I shouldn't have because they were delinquent on their account. So my dad was sick and he eventually died, and I'm always all about going out and all that stuff. I have a death in the family. I didn't even know a 40 blues existed. And eventually I had a very painful relationship. Gidamp ko. But that act of being dumped, that saved me, because it was like a fight or flight idea nga, shit, I have to do something about myself. Tinuod yun, I lost 30 pounds with no effort. So, but I went through counseling, and the guy was telling me that this gentleman who was on the practice for 30 years, that blah, 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 blah. I told myself, what the heck? Where is your empathy? You know what I mean? You just told me straight out on sa direct kay siya, and we're not used to that. Filipinos are not, stress never existed before. So I am so happy tin nga naa na Dainis atua, because there's so many people sa una nga didn't even know existed, and the first step on anything, depression or whatever it is to seek help.
Yeah.
Kaya ako, I didn't know. So I went through the motion, and especially me kay murag happy good ko nga person, no, and I didn't know how to ask people for help because I'm a superwoman. Exactly, because I thought I could help myself all the time. I could take care of myself. So eye-opening kay na nako ang self-care because of that. And I preach that to anybody that I know that's going through a lot. I mean, I don't have as much as trials as most people, but any trial, regardless of how it's perceived, it seems the end of the world to a person. And I've been in that shoes, and I self-diagnosed. So di ko ka-imagine nga libro ra man ni nako mabasahan, and it happened to me. And I think education and good resources, if you cannot help yourself, ask somebody and they will help you. It's good to have people that is around you nga positive. Sakto na Jer kay nakabantay sa kuana kanang mga kay kung
Tin, thank you so much for sharing. I know you, with your expertise, you will be paid for like how many thousands just for this session, and
Yep.
you giving it to us for free is something. It's like we are very grateful for you to share your knowledge and expertise. It's something that wow, somebody in our batch has this knowledge and is really sharing it to us. So, Tin, from the bottom of our heart, thank you. And salamat
Thank
na
you.
you gave us a break and for a great idea that you reached out na you are willing to do this. Thank you, Kayo. So, to the sharer, na si Fritz, I know your life story. Baog yung kunimo,
Yeah.
you know that.
Know your life story.
Yes, to Cheryl, I didn't know, but I hope to our other classmates that is in need, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here. We can help, and we can always reach out to anybody. Then we will help. It's just a matter of reaching out. I hope you know that. And then G, kanang mind over matter. That is my motto to my kids and to my family.
paing
Like,
na-
it's
paing
always
sa da-
mind
paing-
over matter. Every time my kids will always say, Mom, I know it's mind over matter. So
Paing jud na.
to end this one, there's 2 poems because I'm not as a good a singer as Chad and Ron Best. So I would rather share a poem with you guys that has helped me through life. So there's 2 poems that I wanted to share. So the first one is our deepest fear. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We asked ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. As we let our light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we liberate from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. My second poem is one of my favorite too, is Invictus. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstances, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeons of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms the horrors of the shade. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scrolls. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Amen.
And most of all, to all of you who spend this afternoon or evening for the CIC
Ganahan
Batch 83
magkita,
and
magtabi,
Batch
pwede pa.
87 monthly reunion.
Salamat, salamat. Thank you, everyone.
See you next month, everyone. Thank you very much, Tina, for the sharing.
Thank you sa mga
Mama.
beloved teachers.
Sa pagpawi ng uhaw ay may